So Birmingham is really a thriving city. It feels to me very connected. It feels like people know people in the city. People have a lot of trust with their neighbours.
We're in the heart of the city now, and it's a very affluent area. But just down the road in Ladywood, one of the poorest constituencies in the country, with significant levels of deprivation. And some of that deprivation is entrenched. It's been around for as long as I've been working. So we have to think increasingly more and more imaginatively about what we do and why, and how we measure what works.
As a result of the pandemic, the numbers of children who are eligible for free school meals has risen quite dramatically in the city. So initially, when we were planning the programme, we understood that there were around 61,000 children and young people who were eligible for free school meals. That number's gone up to nearly 74,000.
So the Holiday Activities and Food Programme is a Department for Education funded programme. In November 2020, the department made the decision that we're going to invest £220 million into the programme during 2021. Birmingham is the largest programme in England to really address a number of issues across the city that children and families face during holiday periods, and that includes holiday hunger, inactivity, social isolation, and ensuring that when children return back to school in September, that they're really ready.
All the evidence suggests that the support you give to families and children when they're young pays dividends throughout. So as a society, it costs us far more to pick up the pieces, literally, if people don't get the help that they need.
We really got a campaign behind our programme, which was called Bring It On Brum. It made the individual holiday clubs really feel part of something bigger.
Birmingham's divided into 10 districts, and we had activity happening in every district. Over 200 providers of activity in local communities, a real mix of schools, community organisations, charities, other providers that came in with specialisms around sport or music or arts.
Of course, we include a nutritious meal in there. You would see holiday club leaders and children cooking together, eating together, trying new foods. We work with the Golf Foundation to give children an opportunity and access to golf that they wouldn't have experienced before.
And there was a group that were bell boating on the canal, and for some of them it was the first time they'd ever been on the water. And you can just see in their faces how much good it's doing for their well-being, for some of them for their confidence, the ability to develop their language skills and teamwork and communication.
Children learning about how herbs grow and how to use them, then, having a break and then going off and canoeing down the canals. It was just wonderful.
The power of the programme has really enabled them to see what's on their doorstep, what's possible, and how they can really make best use of the assets that the city has.
So if you're going to run a programme for 32,000 children, there are going to be moments where it's challenging.
We dished up over 365,000 meals to those children. We also need to celebrate the food providers that have been the driving force behind this. We know we had kitchen staff in at 5 a.m. in the morning making this happen, shipping this food across the city to make sure that those children really enjoyed the food side of the programme.
There was an incredible photograph of a young girl who was having a meal at one of the holiday clubs, and what was written on her face was just joy. And no amount of writing reports is ever going to capture that in quite the same way. And for everybody at StreetGames that's worked on the programme, they all have these incredible stories.
A boy, I think he was around about 9 years of age, at the end of the session he picked up some leftover packed lunches. He was asked by the holiday club leader why he was taking those packed lunches home, and he said, "I have 5 brothers at home. They haven't been to the club today. They won't have eaten today." What's really important here is how that child felt confident, comfortable and empowered to have those conversations with those club leaders, and that we can make a difference to those families.
So these children would have been at home, not doing the educational things. So that programme and the package and the options within that package were just fantastic. And it was evident, even gathering that sort of soft evidence, that this programme had worked and had actually made a real difference to children's lives.